What is intimate partner violence? Intimate partner violence, or IPV for short, is abuse or aggression that occurs in a romantic relationship. Intimate partner refers to both current and former spouses and dating partners. IPV can vary in how often it happens and how severe it is. It can range from one episode of violence that could have lasting impact to chronic and severe episodes over multiple years. IPV can include any of the following types of behavior. The first is physical violence. That is when a person hurts or tries to hurt a partner by kicking, hitting, or using another type of physical force. The second is sexual violence. That is forcing or attempting to force a partner to take part in a sex act, sexual touching, or a non-physical sexual event, i.e. sexting, when the partner does not or cannot consent. The third type is stalking. That is a pattern of repeated unwanted attention and contact by a partner that causes fear or concern for one's own safety or the safety of someone close to the victim. The fourth type is psychological aggression. That is the use of verbal and nonverbal communication with the intent to harm a partner mentally or emotionally and or to exert control over a partner. IPV is connected to other forms of violence and is related to serious health issues and economic consequences. However, IPV and other forms of violence can be prevented. Okay, so how big is the problem? IPV is common. It affects millions of people in the United States each year. Data from the CDC's National Intimate Partner and Sexual Violence Survey indicate that about 41% of women and 26% of men experienced contact sexual violence, physical violence, and or stalking by an intimate partner and reported an intimate partner violence-related impact during their lifetime. Injury, post-traumatic stress disorder, commonly known as PTSD, concerns for one's safety, fear, needing help from law enforcement, and missing at least one day of work are common impacts reported. Over 61 million women and 53 million men have experienced psychological aggression by an intimate partner in their lifetime. IPV starts early and continues throughout people's lives. When IPV occurs in adolescence, it is called teen dating violence, or TDV for short. TDV affects millions of U.S. teens each year. About 16 million women and 1 million men who reported experiencing contact sexual violence, physical violence, or stalking by an intimate partner in their lifetime said that they first experienced these forms of violence before the age of 18. While violence impacts all people in the United States, some individuals and communities experience inequities and risk for violence due to the social and structural conditions in which they live, work, and play. Youth from groups that have been marginalized, such as sexual and gender minority youth, are at greater risk of experiencing sexual and physical dating violence. Okay, so let's look at some fast facts. About 1 in 3 women and about 1 in 4 men report having experienced severe physical violence from an intimate partner in their lifetime. About 1 in 5 women and 1 in 13 men have experienced contact sexual violence by an intimate partner. 14% of women and 5% of men report having been stalked by an intimate partner. Okay, so what are the consequences? IPV is a significant public health issue that has many individual and societal costs. About 75% of female IPV survivors and 48% of male IPV survivors experience some form of injury related to IPV. IPV can also result in death. Data from U.S. crime reports suggest that about 1 in 5 homicide victims are killed by an intimate partner. The reports also found that over half of female homicide victims in the United States are killed by a current or former male intimate partner. Many other negative health outcomes are associated with IPV. These include a range of conditions affecting the heart, muscles, and bones, digestive, reproductive, and nervous systems, many of which are chronic. Survivors can experience mental health problems such as depression and PTSD symptoms. They are at higher risk for engaging in behaviors such as smoking, binge drinking, and sexual risk activity. People from groups that have been marginalized, such as people from racial and ethnic minority groups, are at higher risk for worse consequences. Although the personal consequences of IPV are devastating, there are also many costs to society. The lifetime economic costs associated with medical services for IPV-related injuries, lost productivity from paid work, criminal justice, and other costs is $3.6 trillion. The cost of IPV over a victim's lifetime was $103,767 for women and $23,414 for men. Okay, so how can we prevent intimate partner violence? Promoting healthy, respectful, and nonviolent relationships and communities can help reduce the occurrence of IPV. It can also prevent the harmful and long-lasting effects of IPV on individuals, families, and communities. CDC developed a resource called Preventing Intimate Partner Violence Across the Lifespan, a technical package for programs, policies, and practices to help communities use the best available evidence to prevent intimate partner violence. This resource can also be used as a tool in efforts to impact individual behaviors as well as family, community, and society factors that influence risk and protective factors for intimate partner violence. Okay, so let's look at some quick tips on how we can prevent intimate partner violence. First is teach safe and healthy relationship skills. This involves social, emotional learning programs for youth and healthy relationship programs for couples. The second way we can prevent intimate partner violence is by engaging influential adults and peers. For example, men and boys as allies in prevention, bystander empowerment and education, and family-based programs. The third way we can prevent intimate partner violence is to disrupt the developmental pathways toward partner violence. That would be early childhood home visitation, preschool enrichment with family engagement, parenting skill and family relationship programs, and treatment for at-risk children, youth, and families. The fourth way we can prevent intimate partner violence is by creating protective environments. For example, improving school climate and safety, improve organizational policies and workplace climate, and modify the physical and social environments of neighborhoods. Okay, the fifth way we can prevent intimate partner violence is by strengthening economic support for families. For example, strengthening household financial security and strengthen work-family supports. Okay, the final way, and certainly not the last, is support survivors to increase safety and lessen harms. For example, victim-centered services, housing programs, first responder and civil legal protections, patient-centered approaches, and treatment and support for survivors of IPV, including teen dating violence. All right, thank you for listening. The source of this information is cdc.gov/violence/intimate-partner-violence/fastfact.html. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.